Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I wanted to make a video, kind of a guide, breaking down all of the businesses in GTA Online. And I'm going to be looking at all the businesses except the arcade and the facility, so we're not going to be looking at heist-related stuff. We're only going to be looking at businesses like import-export, the bunker, the hangar, CEO crates, MC businesses, etc. Those businesses we're going to look at, businesses that make you millions of dollars. So I'm going to give you guys a quick breakdown of each business, and I'm going to be talking about how much money you can make theoretically with those businesses, and I'm also going to be talking about the pros and the cons, the good things about each business and the bad things, because each business has good things and also bad things. And some of the things that I say in this video are facts, but some of the other things I say are opinions, and I will explain why I believe the things I do about each business. And I want to also give a special shout out to Salad Warrior. He is the one who actually suggested this video, so he wanted me to make a video asking if I could do one giving my opinion on each business. So here we go. I hope that you guys enjoy this one, and also I have a fully detailed guide on each business, how to make money. So I have full money guides. I'll link the money guides playlist at the end of this, but in this video we're just going to give a quick breakdown of each business and talk about the good and the bad. So the first business that I wanted to start talking about was the import-export business, or the vehicle warehouse business. And the reason I wanted to start off with this one is because it's the simplest business to use in my opinion. Now, in order to own a vehicle warehouse, we need to own an office. So you need to own an office first, then from the office computer, you can purchase a vehicle warehouse. Now, what location should you purchase? There's Murrieta Heights, which is a decent location. It's right on the highway, but it's pretty expensive, almost $3 million. I personally recommend the La Mesa vehicle warehouse, and this is the warehouse that most people have. It's the cheapest warehouse, and on top of that, it's right next to the highway, so it's easy access and also easy to deliver vehicles there. The only bad thing about it is there's a Vagos gang hideout right outside, but as long as you don't shoot, they won't go after you. And I have the Davis vehicle warehouse, but the reason I have that one is because I just don't have any property in that area, and I wanted to own a property there. Now, the total amount that you can make from this business is $400,000 if you sell 4 top-range cars. There's standard range cars, there's mid-range cars, and then there's top-range cars. Top-range cars are the best cars that you can sell, and you can only source top-range cars. To do that, you basically need to have around 10 standard and 10 mid-range cars. When you have that, you will only source top-range cars, but when you source top-range cars, don't fill up your warehouse with just top-range cars. When you get enough, sell them. You can sell with 4 cars, and you will be selling it for $400,000, but the profit that you'll actually be making is $320,000, because when you upgrade the car, make sure always buy the upgradable cell. When you do the upgradable cell, it's $20,000 per car. So you'll be making $320,000 profit, and you'll probably be making less than that because the cars do take a lot of damage along the way, and they get shot up by NPCs. So you do lose a couple $1,000s from that. But most people, they're going to be selling 1 car at a time. They're not going to be selling it 4 cars. But the difference is, if you buy 1 car, you sell it 1 at a time, it's 20 minutes basically. So there's a 20-minute cooldown. And I'm going to estimate that if you're doing it, solo, you probably can pick up and sell 2 cars in an hour. That's my estimation. Or you can do 4 cars, and that will probably take you, I'd say at least an hour to source all those vehicles. But if you sell it, there will be a 50-minute cooldown on it. But most people, they're going to be sourcing a car by themselves. So they'll be sourcing a top-range car, selling it by themselves. They're not going to wait for 4 other people. And I know some people are going to ask me, are the collections worth doing? Not in my opinion. Just sell the top-range cars. Whenever you get top-range cars, just sell them, because then you're going to have to constantly go back and forth trying to get the collection, and it's just going to waste more time. Just sell top-range cars. Don't bother going for the collections. And you can also use a cargo bob in this business to make things easier, but I personally always like driving the vehicle back there, so I like driving the vehicle back there. I don't really like using the cargo bob, but some people, they like using the cargo bob. Now, the pros and the cons of this business. The pros are, this is the most simple business to use. So out of all of them, this is very simple. All you basically do is just source cars and deliver them and sell them. That's all. Another pro is very solo friendly. Like I said, you just deliver a car, you sell it. You can sell it with 4 people, or you can sell 1 car at a time. Both are profitable. It's a fun business. You pick up crazy supercars and those sports cars, you deliver them back, drive them across the map. It's a fun business. Another pro is vehicles cannot be locked onto. Now, these vehicles cannot be locked onto during sales. They will still appear on the map, so people will see that you're doing an import-export sale, but if they're using like an Oppressor Mark II, they cannot lock onto these vehicles. So these vehicles, they cannot get a lock. So if you see an Oppressor Mark II coming towards you when you're doing a sale, just keep driving, try to swerve, because they cannot lock onto you. So if you're a very fast driver, you can still make it to the drop, and they won't be able to kill you. Now, the cons are, the vehicles can easily take damage. easily take damage, and this is because of the annoying enemies and also the annoying traffic. Now, almost every single mission is going to have some enemies chasing you, and some missions also have helicopters chasing you. This can get really annoying because these helicopters will shoot up your car, the enemy cars will shoot up your car, you lose a couple $1,000s each time delivering the car. Almost nobody delivers cars in pristine condition unless you get a very lucky mission where you don't encounter any enemies. Another con is it requires an office, so you do need an office in order to buy the vehicle warehouse. And the last con is vehicles can be blown up easily. Even though they can't be locked onto, they can be blown up very easily. All it takes is just one RPG, one explosive. So if somebody's in a fighter jet and they're coming after you, you're pretty much dead. If they're in an Oppressor Mark II, it might be much harder for them to hit you. They can still hit you, they spam missiles, but they cannot lock onto you. And that is pretty much the summary for the vehicle warehouse. I think that everybody should own this business. It's a very solo-friendly business, very easy business to run. The next business I want to talk about is the bunker, because the bunker is also a pretty simple business. And in order to buy a bunker, we need to own either an MC clubhouse or an office. So a clubhouse is always cheaper than an office. So if you want to run the bunker with an MC clubhouse, you don't need an office. That's the good thing about it. And now, what is the best bunker location? I think the best bunker location would be the Chumash bunker. It's $1,650,000, so it's not that expensive, and it's also the closest to the city, and it's right on the highway. We also have other ones to choose from, like we have the Farmhouse bunker, which is also an okay location. It's $2,375,000. I personally think that Chumash is better though. And then we also have Zancudo bunker. I own the Zancudo bunker personally because I want to have it really close to my hangar, but if you don't care for that, then I would go for the Chumash bunker. I think the Chumash bunker is the best one in my opinion. Now, when you get a bunker, unlike the vehicle warehouse, you do need to do upgrades for it. Now, you have optional upgrades. We're not really going to talk about the cosmetics, we're going to talk about the business aspects of it. We have staff, equipment, and security. Now, a lot of people always ask me, which one should I buy first? Security, you always want to leave for last, and this is also for the MC businesses. Now, security, all that basically does is it reduces the risk of getting raided. You still get raided. The staff upgrade increases the rate at which stock is produced, and equipment increases the amount that stock is valued at. So get both the staff and the equipment upgrade, or get one and then save up for the next one, which is either staff or equipment. I don't think it would really make that much of a difference personally, because one just increases the speed and the other one increases the value, so you do eventually want to get both of them. So get both of those, save security for last, and with the bunker, we can buy supplies. Now, you can do steal missions, but I recommend buying supplies unless you don't have any upgrades. If you don't have any upgrades, then steal supplies. But once you get upgrades, always buy supplies. And you want to buy 5 batches of full supplies. $75,000 is how much one batch is worth. And for the bunker, one batch will take 2 hours and 20 minutes to produce. So with 5 batches, we will be investing $375,000. And that is going to take at least 12 hours to produce. So the bunker will take around 12 hours to produce because of the buying supplies, waiting for the supplies to be delivered, and then 2 hours and 20 minutes per each batch. So around 12 hours for it to fully produce. And when it fully produces, the stock will be worth $700,000. Now, we can sell it in the city for an extra 50% bonus. It'll go up to $1,050,000. Always sell it in the city because you get an extra $350,000. Now, there's also a high demand bonus. And the high demand bonus, basically what that is each person in that lobby that's not in your CEO or MC, you will get a 1% bonus for. So in the case of the bunker, when we're selling it for $1,050,000, we will be getting a $10,500 bonus per player, and that stacks up all the way to 25 players. So a 25% bonus is the max that you can get. So $10,500 per player. With $1,050,000, we can get the max of $1,312,500, and that's what me and my friends did in this lobby. We got $1,312,500, and that is pretty much all you need to know for the bunker. Every 2 hours and 20 minutes, just come back and resupply it, buy supplies for it. Now, there are some pros and cons on this bunker. Now, the pros are it's a passive business. You just buy supplies for it and it produces. You don't really need that much effort into the bunker. The only thing you really need to do is just buy supplies, and then you just need to do the sell mission. That's pretty much it. It's very, very profitable business. So, investing $375,000 in supplies, you can get $1,050,000 back if you want to sell it in a lobby with no players, and if you want to sell it in a full lobby, you can get $1,312,500 back. So it is a pretty profitable business. Now, the cons are it takes 12 hours to fully produce, so that is going to be a decent amount of time to fully produce the bunker. Another con is that it is expensive. You're going to be purchasing $375,000 worth of supplies, but I still think, the pros outweigh the cons on buying supplies because you're going to get much more back, and you don't really got to put that much effort and do these constant resupplies supply missions. And another con, and this is probably the worst con on it, is that you need 3 to 4 people for a full sale. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the text, if you're doing a solo sale, if you want to run this solo, you can. It won't be as profitable. You'll still make a decent amount of money. You would buy one batch of full supply. $75,000 will produce $140,000 of guns. You then sell it in the city for $210,000. So $75,000 invested, you sell it for $210,000. You will pretty much always have one delivery vehicle if you want to do it solo. But if you want to get the max amount, you're going to need at least 3 to 4 people. And that brings me to the next point, which is bad sell missions, Dune FAV and Merryweather. There's some really, really bad sell missions for the bunker. There is the Merryweather sale, where basically you take 3 Merryweather insurgents and you're dropping them off. You make 5 drops, and at each drop you have to fight constant Merryweather waves. Constant Merryweather enemies, helicopters, insurgents. It can be annoying. And then there's the Dune FAV mission, where you have 4 Dune FAVs, and you gotta make 5 drops of each one, and you only have 15 minutes for that. And even if you have 3 people running that with 15 minutes and going back for the 4th vehicle, that is pretty challenging. So it does have some really bad missions, and you want to watch out for that. But other than that, bunker, everybody should also get. It's a very good business. The next business that I want to talk about is the hangar business. Now, what is the best hangar location? And to buy a hangar, you need either an office or an MC clubhouse, and you go on the foreclosure website. Now, for the hangar, you have two choices of locations. You have either LSIA or Fort Zancudo. I recommend to get Fort Zancudo, because for Fort Zancudo, you have easy access to Fort Zancudo, so you always have easy access to jets. Now, which one should you get? I recommend Hangar 3497, because Hangar 3497, it's $2,085,000. They're all the same thing. The only difference is the outside is a little smaller. That's the only difference. Interior is all the same. Everything is all the same, so just get that one. I have the biggest one because I just bought that at launch and I stayed with it, but I would recommend to get the cheapest hangar. That's the one that I recommend having. And also, Fort Zancudo is a good location because it's easier to deliver there than LSIA. Like, sometimes you have missions in Paleto Bay and you have to take it from Paleto Bay to LSIA, so have Fort Zancudo as a location. And I also want to thank my friends Timmy95, and I want to thank also Tom Tem for helping me with this sale. Now, for the hangar, when you source crates with this thing, this is the worst solo business, and the least amount of people use it. I think less people use this than document forgery. I think more people use document forgery. Now, for the hangar, you want to get 3 crate types. You want to get either narcotics 50 crates, chemical 50 crates, or medical 50 crates. Do not mix them up. Get either 50 crates of only one type of those 3. They're worth the exact same amount. There is no difference between them. So either get 50 crates of narcotics, 50 crates of chemical, or 50 crates of medical. Those are the highest valued ones. Now, when you sell the hangar, if you sell it at 50 crates, you get a 70% bonus. It goes up to $850,000. That gives you an $8,500 bonus per player in that lobby. And the max that I got in this lobby was a full lobby, I got $1,035,925. It might be a little bit more for some other people because I had a few people leave, but that's around the range, the max that you can get with the hangar if you sell it in a full lobby. Now, the hangar crates, it doesn't require any money to purchase them, so the hangar crates are always free. Ron does take around a 3% cut, I believe, and the max cut that I've noticed he can take is $21,250. Now, how long does the hangar take to fill up? If you are doing it with friends, so if you're doing it with friends, it's going to take around, I'd say, probably around 4 to 5 hours. Probably, yeah, 4 to 5 hours, and it's going to be 13 missions. 13 missions to fill that up. Maybe you could possibly get it to 3 hours if you really push it and really rush, but I think that most people will do 4 to 5 hours because you're probably going to be helping other people along the way. Like, people aren't going to be helping you, you know, constantly with this hangar. And I'm going to say this right now, is I don't mean to discourage anyone from doing the hangar business, but if you're planning on doing this by yourself, don't bother. And even if you have one other person to help you, still don't bother. Do hangar only when you have 3 or 4 people. 3 or 4 people, then it's good. You know, 4 people is the best because you can source 4 crates. That'll be 13 missions. There's a 6-minute cooldown per 4 crate missions. And if you do it with, you know, 2 or 1 crates, it's just not going to be worth it, and it's going to take too much time. So don't even bother with it if you have less than, 3 people. Always do it with a lot of people. And what really sucks about the hangar business is that unlike the CEO crates with the hangar, if you try to source it solo, you will only get 1 crate. So if you're doing it by yourself, you can only pick up 1 crate, unlike with the CEO cargo business, where even if you're doing it solo, you can pick up 3 crates. Here, you can only pick up 1 crate at a time, which really sucks. And as for the sell missions, it's just a variety of, air missions. There's some pretty bad missions in there. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But that is pretty much it for the hangar business. And anybody has any questions about these businesses, let me know down below. Now, the pros of this business are it can drop crates on the roof. So you can drop crates right on the roof of the hangar. That's what's really nice about it. I really like that you don't have to teleport inside the hangar each time. You can drop the crates on the roof. The missions are fun for the most part. Most of the hangar missions are fun. There is some annoying missions like jammer missions, but most of the missions I do enjoy. And it's a good payout only with friends. So if you're sourcing all those crates and your friends help you fill it up quickly, then it's a good payout. If you're doing it solo and you took so much time doing it solo, you could have done other activities. And another pro is that no upgrades are required. So you don't need any upgrades. You can just start doing this business right away. Now, the cons are this is the worst solo business in the game. Like I said, it is very anti-solo. So if you're a solo player, don't bother with this business. And it takes very long to fill up. Kind of attached to the solo aspect. If you're doing it with friends, if you're doing 4 crate missions, it's going to take a lot less to fill up, but it's still a very bad solo business and very time consuming. And some cons are there's some bad cell missions. Now, while most of the hangar supply missions are fun, some of the cell missions are really bad. Like there's Havoc missions where you have to take a bunch of Havoc helicopters and you have to fly them into like really tight areas. There's also the Bombushka where even though that's, one vehicle, it's so slow and it's easy to get blown up by other players. But that is pretty much it for the hangar. And last thing I'll say about the hangar is everyone should still own a hangar. Even if you don't plan on doing the business, everyone should own it because you can store custom air vehicles. So everybody should own it at least for that, even if you're not planning on using the business. The next business that we will talk about is the CEO Crate business, and the CEO Crate business is actually the first business that was ever introduced into GTA Online. Now, which location should you get? You should get either the wholesale furniture location that costs $1,900,000 or Darnell Bros. Darnell Bros is the most expensive at $3,500,000, but I think that Darnell Bros is worth it because there's actually a slope right off the highway. So right when you get off the highway, there's a small little jump that you can take the crates right into the warehouse. And if you're only planning on getting one warehouse and I guess get wholesale, don't bother with the small or medium warehouses unless you're just planning on doing small sales. I personally recommend the large warehouses because you can still make small sales with them. If you want to use 2 warehouses and go back to back, get wholesale and Darnell Bros. Those are the 2 best in my opinion. There's a 5-minute cooldown every time that you source crates, and you can do those 2 warehouses back to back. Now, for the CEO Crate warehouse, the total amount that you can make from this warehouse is $2,200,000. That is the total amount that you can sell when you have 111 crates. In order to get 111 crates, we have to purchase crates 3 at a time. We can also purchase crates 1 at a time and 2 at a time. 3 at a time costs $18,000, while 1 at a time costs $2,000, and then 2 at a time, that costs about $8,000, I believe. $8,000. Yes. So it's going to be 37 missions to do 3 crates with 18,000. I personally recommend doing the 3 crate method because 3 crates, even though it is more expensive than buying 1 or 2 crates, it's quicker. You're going to be filling up the warehouse quicker, and it's always the same cooldown, always 5-minute cooldown between missions, even if you're sourcing 1 crate at a time. There's a 30-minute cooldown in between sales, but I recommend the 3 crates. And if you're going to be going for 3 crates each, you are going to be spending about $666,000 on those crates. And the total will be $2,200,000 that you'll get back. Now, if you sell this in a very populated lobby like I'm here, the max bonus that you can get back is you can get back $2,750,000. That is the max amount of money that you can get back as a $22,000 bonus per player. And if you're selling this in a very populated lobby when it's double money, you can make over $5 million with this warehouse. The CEO Crate warehouse, in my opinion, is the most profitable business, but there's a lot of cons with this thing. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And as for how long this takes, it takes around 5 to 6 hours to fill up 111 crates, and that's with friends. So with friends, around 5 to 6 hours. You can do this solo, but there are some pretty annoying missions, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, the pros of this business are it's the most profitable business. In my opinion, you can make the most amount of money from the CEO Crate warehouse. Another pro is it's easy to rank up. And I can't really think of any other pros other than that, because it does give you a lot of RP. There is also a third pro, and that is that you can upgrade delivery vehicles. So you can upgrade delivery vehicles in this business, but other than that, there isn't really anything else. for pros that I can think of. Now for cons, we have it's very time consuming. So this is a very, very time consuming business. It takes a lot of time. There's some annoying 3-crate pickup missions. The majority of the missions will be where you pick up the crates in a van, just take it back to your warehouse. But there are some other missions that can be annoying, like in this case, me and my friend, we were at the very end of the warehouse. We had 109 crates because we had 1 crate destroyed, and we were doing a 2-crate mission, and we had to pick up 2 crates in the middle of nowhere surrounded by cops. It was a little bit annoying. We go to pick up the crates, we got to deal with the cops, and if you're doing this solo, this can be annoying because you got to make multiple trips back and forth, and somebody can just blow up. Somebody can blow up your crates in between, and that leads me to it's easy to get griefed. On this, it's very easy to get griefed during this doing this business. It's very easy to get griefed on both delivering the crates and selling the crates. There's some really bad missions, like for instance the Titan mission making 10 drops, and the fact that there's probably going to be buzzards chasing you. It makes it very easy to get blown up. I actually almost got blown up during the sale here. I was actually protecting my friend that was in the Titan. There was a guy that actually came after him. I blew him up, but it is very easy to get grief. And you have to buy the crates, so that was another con I already talked about, and you need friends for large sales. So if you're going to be doing a large sale, you almost always need friends, unless you get the tugboat sale. That you can pretty much do on your own, but for the Titan and the truck sale, you almost always need friends for that. So that is pretty much it for the CEO crate business. The next business that I wanted to talk about were the MC businesses. Now, what is the best MC business location? In my opinion, I think the best MC business locations are in Sandy Shores. And the reason that I think Sandy Shores is the best one is because Sandy Shores is cheaper. That's one. And two, I think it's easier to sell from Sandy Shores. Because if you sell from Sandy Shores to the city, the drops tend to be much more closer, and you're also driving on paved roads versus in Sandy Shores. If you're selling from the city to Sandy Shores, you'll be going over hills, driving down dirt roads if you have vehicle drops. So I personally think that Sandy Shores businesses are the best ones. Just don't get the ones in Paleto Bay, because those would be the absolute worst. From Paleto Bay, you'd have to sell all the way down to the city. So either Sandy Shores or city locations, but I personally prefer Sandy Shores. I think it's the better location. Now, these businesses are passive businesses similar to a bunker, meaning that you can buy supplies for them. And I recommend that everybody get the cocaine business first, because the cocaine business is the most profitable business. And then I recommend getting counterfeit cash second, because even though meth is the second most profitable one, it is the most expensive one to upgrade. And like I said for the bunker, buy the staff and equipment upgrades first. You want to get those first, save security for last. And if you don't have enough money for the staff and equipment upgrades, then I recommend stealing supplies until you have enough. So steal supplies, get product in that business, sell that business, and then use that money until you have enough and get staff and equipment upgrades. But once you have staff and equipment upgrades, do not steal supplies anymore. Continue to keep buying supplies at that point. Now, I don't think you really need the document forgery. Document forgery is the least profitable one. I think that everybody should get the weed, counterfeit cash, meth, and cocaine business, though. So let's go over how much each business makes. Now, the document forgery, this business will produce $126,000 in total. If you sell this in a populated lobby, you will get $1,260 bonus per player, meaning you can get a max of $157,500 with the bonus. For the weed business, it'll produce $252,000 max, and if you sell this in a populated lobby, you can get $315,000 back, and that would be about a $2,520 bonus per player. Counterfeit cash, this will produce $294,000 worth of cash, and you can sell this in a populated lobby for a bonus of $364,000. That is a $2,940 bonus per player. And the meth, this will sell for $357,000, and you can sell it for $446,000 in a populated lobby, full lobby. This will get you about a $3,570 bonus per player. And for the cocaine, you will sell this for $420,000, but if you sell this in a very populated lobby, you can get $520,000 bonus back. That's a $4,200 bonus per player. That would be a $100,000 bonus. Now, how much time does each business take to produce, and how much supplies do you need? For the document forgery, it takes about 3 hours if this is fully upgraded, and all of the times that I have on here, this will be for full upgrades. Document forgery, 3 hours with full upgrades, and it takes about 1 full supply, and this will be $75,000, but one full supply won't complete it all the way. You'll still have a little bit of product left, so you might want to steal the last bit of product, or maybe even steal product entirely for document forgery. Document forgery isn't really much of a profitable business. Now, for the weed business, it'll take about 5 hours and 20 minutes, and you will need to buy 2 full batches of supplies. That's $150,000 invested, and this will produce the majority of it. There will just be a tiny bit left, but it'll pretty much produce the majority of the product. Now, for counterfeit cash, also 5 hours and 20 minutes. You need to buy 2 full batches of supplies. That's $150,000. But when you buy those 2 full batches of supplies, it'll produce it to 100% basically. Meth, it takes about 6 hours and 3 full supplies. And it really takes 2.5 full supplies, but you'll still have a little bit of supplies left over. So you spend $225,000 on supplies, you'll still have some supplies over for the next batch that you'll be producing after you sell it. And for cocaine, it'll take 5 hours, and it's the same thing, $225,000, 3 batches of full supplies, and then it'll start producing the next shipment afterwards. You'll still have a little bit left over. Now, the pros of this business is they're passive businesses. You can buy supplies. They're very profitable. You can just buy supplies and they will be producing. There's so many businesses, so there's so many of them that you can have them pretty much producing most of the day. And the cons are, it has the worst cell missions. Now, there's some really bad cell missions. There is the post-op van. There's also the dodo cell mission, which the dodo cell mission, it's not really that bad, but you're very vulnerable during that mission. You have the garbage truck sale, so you have some really bad missions in this. And they also took out the bag missions. They're eventually going to add those back, but the bag missions have been taken out for months now, and those used to make it much easier. But until then, I'm still going to rate it as worst cell missions. And if the bag missions had come back by the time that you're watching this video, just ignore that piece of advice. And another con is document forgery does not really give you much profit. It's the easiest to get griefed. So out of all of these businesses, this is the easiest one to get griefed on, because if you're doing the post-op mission, you can easily get blown up, and you have to sell this as an MC, so you can't really activate Ghost Organization as a CEO, and it can take long to produce. I mean, the meth business, that'll take 6 hours to produce, so some of these businesses, they take a good amount of time to produce, and you gotta constantly go back and buy supplies. You can do this with the master control terminal in the arcade, but sometimes it can be annoying not knowing exactly when it's producing. This is why I recommend using a stopwatch, so that you can keep track of exactly when you need to buy another batch of supplies. And the last con is it's expensive. If you're going to be buying all 5 of these businesses and fully upgrading, you're going to be spending a lot of money. You're going to be spending many millions on this, but I do think it is a worthy investment, and a lot of people do use MC businesses, so in the end, I do think it's a worthy investment. You might want to disregard document forgery, but the other ones, I do recommend buying those. And the final business that we have here is the Nightclub, and this was the last business that we actually had released, and this was in July of 2018. Now, which nightclub location is the best location? Now, I don't really think nightclub location matters that much, because all you're pretty much going to be doing from it is selling. You don't really have resupply missions to it, so I don't recommend getting the Elysian Island nightclub, because you're going to have to go north. Oftentimes the drops are in Sandy Shores or even farther. Don't get Elysian Island or LSIA. Instead, I think the 2 best nightclub locations are the ones at the top of this city. It's either downtown Vinewood or West Vinewood. West Vinewood is $1,700,000. That's the most expensive one, and downtown Vinewood is $1,670,000. And these 2, they're right at the top of the city, so whenever you have a cell mission, you can just start heading up to Sandy Shores pretty easily. Other than that, you can get the other nightclub locations in the middle of the city. They don't make that much of a difference. Just stay away from Elysian Island, because it's all the way at the bottom of the map. Now, for the Nightclub, the total that you can make from this business is $1,690,000, and this is gameplay from my first ever sale of the Nightclub. I actually sold it for max then. The max you can sell for is $1,690,000. However, the real amount that you're going to be making is $1,590,000, because Tony is going to take a $100,000 fee. Now, Tony takes a 10% cut. He takes a 10% cut from whatever you're selling. However, if you go over $1 million, so if your sale is over $1 million, the max that Tony will take at that point is $100,000. So I always recommend selling over $1 million. And the max total that you can make if you get the bonus in there, if you factor in the bonus, you sell in a very populated lobby, is you can make a $1,987,500 profit. Now, you will be basically getting $15,900 per player in that lobby. And how long does this take? It takes 60 hours. That's right, it takes 60 hours. This is the longest passive business. This is a passive business, the longest lasting passive business. You do not have to You do not have to do anything really for this business. However, though, there is one major downside to this business. And the one major downside to this business is that you have to have other businesses linked. If you don't have other businesses linked, then you're not going to be really making money from this thing. And with the nightclub, we have the above ground portion, but I'm not really going to be covering that. We're going to be focusing on the underground, where you make the maximum amount of money, because the above ground, the popularity money isn't that much. But for the underground part, now, it's similar. You can buy more levels. I recommend to buy more levels. Buy the staff, buy the equipment upgrades also. You also have security. And if you're going to get security, get it last, just like for the MC businesses in the bunker. But you want to get those upgrades as soon as you can. Once you get those upgrades, you need to have the 5 best businesses to link to it. And the 5 best businesses are Sporting Goods, which is the bunker. You have South American Imports, which is the cocaine business. Cash Creation, which is the counterfeit cash business. Pharmaceutical Research, which is the meth business. And then you have Cargo and Shipments, which is the hangar. And I believe if you have a CEO crate warehouse, that can also substitute for it, but correct me if I'm wrong. But you have those 5 businesses: Sporting Goods, Cash Creation, Pharmaceutical Research, South American Imports, and Cargo and Shipments. Those 5 you want to link. Those 5 will make you the most per hour from the nightclub. You also have other ones, like you have forged documents, and then you also have the weed business. Those you want to, you can link those if you want, and it can make document forgery, I guess, a little bit more useful, but you want to link those the moment that one of those 5 stops producing. So the moment that one of those 5 actually finishes producing, so let's say Pharmaceutical Research finishes first. If you still want to make a little bit more money, then link weed next. And then another one finishes producing, then link forged documents. And that'll still let you produce a little bit more money. But those 5 are the ones that you want to have linked. And if you're going for the max sale, this is going to take over 60 hours. It is going to take over 60 hours to produce. It's the longest producing passive business. Like I said, you can shorten this with business battles. So if you do business battles, these are basically random free mode events that spawn in which a business battle crate will be there. And this can be a sporting goods crate, this can be a cargo crate, or it can be a product crate. Product would be basically like MC businesses, cargo like the hangar and CEO crates, and then sporting goods, which would basically be the gun. You take them back to your nightclub. Once you take them back to your nightclub, you get paid. Also, you get paid around $20,000 for the business battle, plus you get the cargo in your nightclub. So it does help you produce faster, so you can shorten down the timer. So it's kind of both a passive business and a cargo business at the same time, but it's more 90% passive, maybe 10% cargo, because you're not really going to be doing many business battles. I don't do many business battles, and this still produces. And what's really good about this thing is that you don't have to do anything. You pretty much don't have to do anything. You just have to link those 5 businesses, and then you can sit back and let this thing produce. The one downside is that there's this annoying glitch where sometimes one of the businesses will stop producing, like South American Imports. If that happens, just unlink the technician and then assign a technician back. But other than that, very easy business, and you always have one delivery vehicle. And that delivery vehicle, you can customize it, but depending on the size, it's either going to be the Speedo, the Mule, or the Pounder. In this case, I had the Pounder, and I had it upgraded, so it's nice that you can use an upgraded vehicle. Very solo-friendly as well. It is the best solo business in the game. The best solo business, because you don't have to do any work, and you always have one delivery vehicle, and you can make a lot of money from it. So let's move on to the pros and the cons of this business. The pros are, this is the ultimate passive business in the game. By far, ultimate passive business. Very solo-friendly. It's the best solo business. Best solo business in the game, in my opinion. I think it's even better than import-export. And you never need to purchase supplies. So unlike, the bunker and the MC businesses where you need to buy supplies, this one you don't ever need to buy supplies. It'll always produce for free for you. And you cannot really lose money from this thing. You can't. There's not really a way to lose money. Even if somebody blows up like your whole shipment, you did lose that amount that produced, but you didn't invest anything in it. So it's not like you purchased the crates or you purchased the supplies. You didn't pay for anything. You paid for the business, but that's only one thing. You can't really lose money even if somebody blows you up. And you can use a custom vehicle. So like I said, custom Speedo, Mule, or Pounder. Now the cons are, and the worst con about this is very long to produce, and it can easily be destroyed. So it can easily be destroyed because it's one vehicle. However, the good thing about it is that you can use a CEO as this. So if you're selling as a CEO, you can activate Ghost Organization, and that'll give you a 3-minute window. Another good thing is, like the import-export, is they cannot lock onto you. So players with militarized vehicles, they cannot lock onto you. They can still blow you up, but if they have like lock-ons, they can't lock onto you. Nightclub delivery vehicles do not get locked onto. Another con is it has long cell missions. Oftentimes the cells will take you all the way across the map, and that's plenty of time for somebody to attack you. And another con is it requires most other businesses. So it does require other businesses in order to be successful. And I know some people have made a mistake where they have purchased this. They've purchased the Nightclub first. That's a really bad mistake. You never want to do that. Nightclub, you always want to purchase last. But that is pretty much it for the Nightclub business. It's a great business, and if you are a player that you don't like grinding in this game, you don't like doing a lot of activities, the Nightclub business will be the best business for you if you don't like grinding, because you can sit back, have fun in GTA, and this thing will still produce for you. But like I said, I recommend selling over $1 million. Don't wait like the full 60 hours. I think it would be better just to sell when you're over $1 million. And over $1 million, it'll probably take at least 20 hours. You can probably shorten that with business battles, but everybody should still get the Nightclub because it doesn't require much effort and easy amount of money. So that is pretty much the end of this guide. I broke down each business to the best of my ability, and I hope this guide helps people out. And I know I'm going to have this big question in the comments, which is, okay, Professional, you broke down all the businesses for us, but what is the best business? My opinion? There is no best business. It all comes down to personal preferences. There are some businesses that make more money, like if you're just going strictly for money, CEO Crates would be your best bet because it makes the most money. But even though CEO Crates makes the most money, that doesn't necessarily make it the best business because of just how time-consuming it is. It takes so long, and the missions are just so repetitive. So it all comes down to personal preference. Some people might love crates, some people might hate crates. Some people might like MC businesses. They might consider MC businesses the best business in the game. Some people, maybe they don't play a lot, maybe they don't like grinding, and they might consider the Nightclub the best business in the game. So it all comes down to personal preferences. Each business has a different play style. Each business has different players that like it. One player will not necessarily like business A, but another player might like business A. So it all comes down to personal preference. And what do I personally do to make the most amount of money? What have I done? I don't limit myself to one business. And this is what a lot of people seem to do in GTA Online. They ask, what is the best business? But why limit yourself to just one business? Why not instead use multiple businesses at the same time? And some people are going to ask me, how do I run multiple businesses at the same time? Like this, like I'm doing right here. With the Master Control Terminal, it also makes this easier. What we do right here, we go to our MC businesses on the Master Control Terminal. We buy supplies for all the MC businesses. We buy supplies for the bunker. All of the MC businesses and the bunker are producing right now with these supplies. And at the same time, you know what I'm doing while those supplies are producing? I'm sourcing crates. So while I'm sourcing crates, all of my passive businesses are producing, including the Nightclub. Remember, we don't need to buy supplies for that. So in essence, I have weed, counterfeit cash, meth, coke, bunker, and a Nightclub producing while I'm doing crates. And when I finish delivering my crates right here, you know what I do right after I finish delivering my crates? I go pick up a top range vehicle, take that back to my vehicle warehouse, and get it ready for a future sale. So I'm running so many businesses. I'm running import-export, I am running CEO Crates, and I'm running all the passive businesses at the same time. The only one I'm not doing is Hangar because I'm doing this solo. I don't really have friends at the moment, but this is what you want to do. Combine businesses, run all the businesses together, and you will be pretty successful in this game. So I hope that this guide has helped people out. And again, I apologize for the length of this video. I know this video is over half an hour long. I didn't mean for this video to be over half an hour long. That wasn't my intention. But after I kept talking about the businesses and I broke it down, it just went to this length. So I'm sorry about that, but there was a lot for me to cover. So I hope that this guide has helped people out, and I'll also have timestamps down below. So if you want to skip forward to one specific business, you don't have time to watch the whole video, you can do that. But if you watched the whole video up until this point, I thank you very much, and I hope this guide helps people out. Last thing I'll say before I go is this is my last money guide, at least for now. I will have more top 5 videos coming up. Don't get me wrong, but this is my last money guide. I know people ask me for money guides all the time, but there is nothing else for me to cover. I have pretty much covered every single aspect of making money in this game. I just haven't broken down the businesses like I have here. So I hope this helps people out. The next time I'll make another money guide is probably when another DLC comes out. When another DLC comes out and there's a new way to make money, then I'll cover that. But until then, this has been my last money guide, at least for now. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. And if you're new to my channel, enjoy my content, subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone.